Mun ci gonan malam, mun ci gonan pasto, hisabi hedi a kiyama, yaro da rayuwa ba suna, gara gajeren kwana. Wayihu!
Igbos, they are tired of this world called Nigeria. Hausa is not the problem, but the Igbos. Any Igbo can go against it, you can lambast me, you can insult me, it's not my business.
On whether there's a genocide in Nigeria or there's no genocide in Nigeria. And I listen to certain individuals who say there's no such thing in Nigeria. Well, whether you call it genocide or you don't call it genocide, let me speak as a victim. I am not just a student of research, but I'm speaking as a victim of these gruesome circumstances around the Nigerian people, where innocent lives have been taken away by some people who think they have more right than others in this nation. And some people have reduced it to herders and farmers clash. No, sir. This has been ongoing. I grew up in northern Nigeria. My father was a pastor with the Assemblies of God Church. One morning,
Christianity is not a religion of peace, as you have been told all your life by these pastors. Christianity is also a religion of war and a religion of buying. Listen to me. Christianity is also a religion of buying and of war.
Of the cloth. So I am a reverend father. So being in governance does not take that away from me. I state of Benue, we don't have any religious, any ethnic, any racial, any national or state genocide. We don't have that. Do we have a number of insecurities in the state? Yes, we do. But it is not a genocide. Someone would need to go through there to check the United Nations definitions for this.
This video of Dr. Ebe that I'm about to give to you people now, and there are a lot of other clips. Please stay tuned and watch to the very end so you will not miss any important gist on this topic. So when I come across this Dr. Ebe and what he said about Christian genocide, this thing has already been happened way back, even before the birth of me and you that is watching this video. So then when I saw this video, so I brought it to attention of a Muslim person, and I said, why is Muslim so heartless and wicked, and why are they killing a Christian? Videos, when you normally hear Muslim, there was Allah, Akbar, I don't know how they normally say it, but if you listen to the video of the Ebe, and I'm going to be giving you now, you will know how they say it. And definitely you and I, we have already been hearing that word, Allah, Allah something. So when I asked a friend of mine, and he said, the way people see fake pastors, that is how they also see fake Muslims. These people are not real Muslims. It's a real Muslim. Whenever they see something like blood, they will be scared of it. Hey, I know a lot of you people will come and attack me in this video, but before you think I am lying, after watching Dr. Ebe, there is another pastors I will put on this video, and let's analyze these two together and see if they are real Muslim and real fake Muslim. So watch Dr. Ebe first, then I'll be right back.
on whether there's a genocide in Nigeria or there's no genocide in Nigeria. And I listen to certain individuals who say there's no such thing in Nigeria. Well, whether you call it genocide or you don't call it genocide, let me speak as a victim. I am not just a student of research, but I'm speaking as a victim of these gruesome circumstances around the Nigerian people, where innocent lives have been taken away by some people who think they have more right than others in this nation. And some people have reduced it to herders and farmers clash. No, sir. This has been ongoing. I grew up in northern Nigeria. My father was a pastor with the Assemblies of God Church. One morning we just woke up in Assemblies of God Church, Samaru Zaria, somewhere adjacent the north gate of Samaru Zaria. My father was a pastor. All of a sudden we woke up in the morning, no provocation, nothing. And the next thing we were hearing was people were just running all over our house and the church with machetes and all of that. The next thing was they started pouring petrol all over the building, both the church and the house, because our house was attached to the church. And the next thing was flames. Everything was burned right down to ashes. We narrowly escaped, found a place where we could shelter ourselves in the military barracks. Eventually, they brought us back to the lecturers' quarters of ABU Zaria, and we had to camp with a family for weeks and months before we could rebuild and start life all over again. That is long. I'm talking about 1986, 87. What about the Metasine situation? Metasine was a sect of the Islamic religion who went around burning and destroying and killing Christians back in the 80s. This is far before there was anything like farmers and herders clash. Then fast forward. What about in the year 2000, where over 2,000 people were killed in Kaduna? Year 2000. What about the over 300 people that were victims of the Miss World in November 2002? All of them, they were not a part of the Miss World. They were just on their own. Something happened somewhere else and they became victims of it. Lives were killed, houses were destroyed, and whenever they are carrying out this charade, they will be shouting, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, and they will carry their matches and carry whatever they have, and they will move in their numbers. And everybody on their way that is not chanting what they are chanting becomes a victim. I can go on and on. A few years ago, I was preaching in Kaduna for a great man of God. And I only succeeded in preaching Sunday morning service. After the service, the next morning, as we were preparing for the next service on Monday, the next thing I was hearing was, the whole city is on fire. Kaduna is on fire. Please stay in the hotel room. Don't come out. They are killing, they are burning churches, they are killing everybody. That is how we were stuck in a hotel. Even in the hotel, we were not sure of ourselves. Because they were going from hotel to hotel, room to room, killing people that were not chanting Allahu Akbar. And somehow, God saved our souls. After about 4 days, we were able to leave Kaduna. But unfortunately, a friend of mine who was a pastor, Reverend Northcote Andrew of blessed memory, was caught in the midst of this as he was escaping for his life. They caught him because he was wearing a collar of a bishop. They hacked him to death, dug the ground, buried him and put a cross there. It is that little wooden cross that made people know that there was a corpse in that place. And this, my friend, was buried. These are real life situations. So for somebody to just sit down in the comfort of his home, maybe somewhere in the south, and be saying there's no such thing in northern Nigeria, my brother, you've not been a part of it. We've been right in the heart of the fire. I remembered one night, these Muslim boys were all over the place in my school, and they were shouting Allahu Akbar. They were looking for me. I had to escape. That night, my saving grace was that I found a female hostel and I slept under the bed. By the next day, I left town. For what? I did nothing. No provocation, just because I am preaching the gospel. And of course, some of them believe that once you are not of the Islamic faith, you are an infidel, and they believe that if you kill an infidel, you will sleep with 7 virgins. All of this kind of indoctrination that leads to violence at the slightest provocation, whether it has to do with the people or not, you just get on the streets. What about the Reinhard Bonnke crusade? I'm talking about the Reinhard Bonnke crusade in Kano, where people were hacked, macheted, and killed just because a crusade where the gospel of Christ was going to be preached. And that is why I thank God for people like President Donald Trump, who lent his voice to what is going on here. At least, for whatever is what, there's an ongoing conversation all over the world. The matter is no more put under the carpet. And we don't want just conversations. We want some action. And in the midst of all this, it snowballed into the herders and farmers clash. It snowballed into banditry, and everything becomes very complicated. And people are dying by the day. There are people in northern Nigeria, places like Borno State, places like Plateau State, places like Benue State, places like southern Kaduna, where whole villages have been taken over by some of these bandits, by some of these Islamic extremists, by some of these Boko Haram people. They've taken over whole villages, driven the villagers away. And somebody said there is no such thing in Nigeria. Why do we have IDP camps? Why do we have IDP camps when we never had an earthquake? We never had an earth tremor. Why do we have IDP camps when there is no natural disaster? Other than the fact that people are being made victims of what they have no knowledge of. In a secular state like Nigeria, where all religions are permitted to be practiced, this ought not to be allowed. This ought not to be allowed at all. Our government have a duty. Now, when you live in a country like that, where you don't know what becomes of you the next day, you go out, you don't know if you're going to come back. Where you go to church, you're not sure if you're going to come back. When you live in such a country, it's almost as if there's no government. And because the first responsibility of government is security of lives and properties. That's the first responsibility of government, whether at the federal level, at the state level, or at the local government level. Because the population don't have access to arms. But unfortunately, some of these bandits, some of these terrorists, some of these extremists, they are carrying AK-47s. And you wonder, where did they get them from? In fact, it's unfortunate that at a point in Nigeria, there was even a local government in Borno State where Boko Haram drove all our Nigerian security forces and put their flag there. It's very unfortunate. And the government of Nigeria needs to do something quickly. Otherwise, where this is taking us to, we do not know. This has to come to an end.
Long time before I even become an adult like this. So I can remember then in the north, although I've not been to in the north, there's the videos that normally come up there. You see Muslim will just carry a full pastor, maybe with the family, or your light out with fire. Don't know most of us if we can remember this acts. If you have already watched this video, like 15 to 20 years ago, back then, I can vividly remember when they would just light family, Christian pastor, they would just light them on fire. Then it was just, they would carry full family, they would light them on fire, which I can still remember. That is very long ago. So please, guys, according to what I said, I know most of you is going to be judging me like, why would she be saying there's fake Muslim and there's real Muslim? So there's a video, this video of this reverend that I'm going to put to you people now, and you people will really see if there's fake pastors and real pastors, and also there's also fake Muslim and real Muslim. So watch this video of this reverend. I'll be right back.
Of the cloth. So I am a reverend father. So being in governance does not take that away from me. I am still a reverend father. I came in as a governor, as a reverend father. I am working with the fear of God and the compassion of Christianity and humanity. And at the end of the day, I'm still going back to the church as a reverend father and a good Christian. So that is for the record. We need to understand this. In my state of Benue, we don't have any religious, any ethnic, any racial, any national or state genocide. We don't have that. Do we have a number of insecurities in the state? Yes, we do. But it is not a genocide. Someone would need to go through there to check the United Nations definitions for this. Have we lost a number of people? Yes. We have at different stages. If I've given you a background of the challenges we've had many years ago, we're talking about the agro-pastoralists, got them the herders. And then we're talking about the agro-farmers, typical farmers. So it began like play, like joke, and then it went over and then just continued to some huge proportions. But that does not fit into the parameters of a genocide. So for those who seek to politicize everything, there is no genocide in Benue State. But we have security challenges in Benue.
Igbos, they are tired of this world called Nigeria. Hausa is not the problem, but the Igbos. Any Igbo can go against it. You can lambast me, you can insult me, it's not my business. It gives me courage, it gives me more glory and blessing. Your insult. Igbo, they are the problems of this country. They are desperate of power. They want to rule Nigeria at all cost. And I've not seen them ruling Nigeria, even in coming dispensation. Let them bring, when 10 trillion will come out. Igbos, they are betrayer of themselves. People cannot control Nigeria. Let's be realistic. Let's be honest with ourselves. But they don't understand. Instead of them to seek wisdom, they are flexing muscle. And that's not the answer. That's what Tinubu does not even know. Obasanjo, who is advocating for them, they are the one who spoil it. All these Obasanjo, Yakubu Gowon, who are they? Many of them. So Obasanjo wants to make an amendment now, when it's too late. Tell the Baba to go and sleep. We can't make any amendments. Igbo, there is an error at the beginning. A course is on you. If you don't reverse that course, Igbo, you can't be president of anything in Nigeria. Note and underline wisdom, understanding, knowledge. That's
with this video that I have just bring to your attention now, do you really think this man that is speaking and this reverend that is speaking, and do you really think is a real man of God? Please keep your thoughts on the comment section below. Before you people attack me, he has already speak that. Do you think this man is a real man of God? Do you think he's speaking for the Christian, or he's just speaking for himself and the government? On my previous video, you will see when he said Trump is coming to use Jonathan against Tinubu. Does that two topic, does it really match together? Was it concern ex-president? Not even ex-president Jonathan concern our president, now concern Tinubu. So does this man is just making no sense for me. So as I have said before, do you really think they are fake Muslim and fake Christian? Please don't attack me. Just keep your thoughts on the comment section below. So until we meet again, never you forget, we are the light of the world. Please give this video a thumbs up if you find this content interesting. And also, don't forget to share this content to people and let them shook mouth for this topic. We will know if that they see real Muslim and fake Muslim. The way we see they see fake pastor and real pastor. Bye. See you in my next content.